Hello, friends. My name is Steve, and this is Steve Talks Books. We're almost halfway through 2022, so let's take a look at my reading goals. So when preparing for this video, I was feeling pretty good about my about my goals for the year. That I'm halfway through. I felt like I've had some really good reading in. I've had some really great books that were on my list. I was feeling pretty good about it. Then I sat down to add everything up, and so we'll talk about it. But but I'm not huge on reading goals and having I have to read X amount of books in the year or anything like that. It was like an optimistic. It would be great if this happened. I wanted to kind of set myself up for to have the goals, because I can get sidetracked, like our friend Pax Panic likes to say, is squirrel. You just get distracted. So I was trying to set myself up so I could don't get too distracted, because it's too easy to get distracted with so many great books and group reads and everything else. So I knew that would happen, but I wanted to have kind of a path to go on, because I wanted to have certain books read this year. So my goal was to read lots of grimdark this year, or dark fantasy, if you will. So let's see how I did with that, and let's add everything up. Let's take a look at the forum thread that I started in late December, and let's see how I'm doing. Okay, so here's the forum thread that I started right before Christmas, December 21st. That had feeling pretty optimistic. So let's take a look. So first, I grouped them into series, and then I have standalones. So let's look at the series that I wanted to start. So the first one on my list, of course, is Malazan, which you all know that we've started that with the group, and I'm so glad we started that as a group, because I'm not sure I would have made it without a group. It's that kind of series that if I would have read it by myself, I think I would have thrown in the towel already. It's just a lot. So that whole experience has been really great. So far, that's been started. I've also started The Prince of Nothing, so that has been started. So I've read the first book. I'm getting ready for a reread, and I'm actually thinking about doing like an audio podcast for each chapter, or for like groups of chapters for the darkness that comes before, and maybe all of Baker's books. But so let me know if you're interested in that. That's something I've been tossing around. The next one on my list is Edge of the Breach, and I did finish that series. It's a 4-book series by Halo Scott. Fantastic. I really loved it. We had a spoiler chat about that one with Halo, so that is done. But that series is finished. Blackstone Heart, I have not gotten to that one yet. I'm hoping to get to that one soon in the second half. Priest of Bones, I just finished Priest of Lies yesterday, or depending on when you're watching this, a couple of days ago, and so that is in progress. So I'm looking good there. I'm ready for the fourth book is in August, so I look to be ready by then. They're not too big; those books aren't very big, so I think that's manageable. The next one, Chasing Graves, that's a trilogy. I have not started that one yet. I'll have to reread that one. It's been about a year, so not yet. The Emperor's Blades, have not started that one yet. It's still on the list. Now the standalones for First Law, we did read the standalones. We're taking a little bit of a break because we just wanted a little First Law break. I have not been crazy about the standalones. I'm not the biggest fan of them. They're okay, but I haven't been all too excited, all too jazzed about them. They've been fine, but so that is in progress. We are starting the Age of Madness here in the next couple of months. So Gunmetal Gods, I did read Gunmetal Gods, Conqueror's Blood, which is a sequel, and the prequel novella Death Rider, all fantastic. That series I've read as much as I can, so I think we can call that one done. The Rider and the Throne, I haven't started that one yet, so that is on my list. CT Ortega, so that's going to be one that I start hopefully soon. Not sure when. Senlin Ascends, I have not started that one. The Books of Babel, I have not started that series yet. The Vampire Chronicles, have not started that one yet. I'm looking forward to that. I still want to do that sometime this year. The Gray Bastards, I did read The Gray Bastards in the second book. Um, I still plan to finish it. It's just other books have jumped in front of it and just other priority reads. And I've enjoyed the Gray Bastards. It's not it's not a book that I'm dying to read, but it's a book or a series rather that I will finish eventually. Stone and Shield by Thomas J. Devins. I do have the second book. I want to get to that one soon and chat with Thomas again about that. The Gabriel Davenport series, I really want to get to this one. I'm thinking that may be in like a Halloween time read, but I really want to get to that one too. It's really high on my list. So out of the possible, let me see how this written down. Let me switch over. So out of the possible 16 series, I started 5, I finished 2 of them, and I have 9 that I have not started yet. So I was feeling pretty good about my reading goals. And like I said, until I came and looked at all the looked at the list. So Children by Bjorn Larson was on my list. Have not gotten to that one yet. It's one that another one of those books that I just want to get to it. I haven't gotten to it yet. So it's on the list. Chaos Reigns, Oath Broken. That's another book that's high on my list. All these books are high on my list, but so Ghost City Girl. I did read this in January. It was a 5-star read for me. Fantastic. A great mix of cyberpunk, sci-fi, and horror. Cyberpunk, I guess you could say that's sci-fi. I hope you know what I mean. Anyway, great read. Loved Ghost City Girl. Really, really good. I read it when I had COVID, when I was bedridden, and it was a perfect read for that. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, have not started that one yet. It's a thick boy, and it's a little intimidating. Got to be honest, it's a little intimidating, but it's a book I hope to get to. Wolf Eater by Anthony Mitchell. I want to get to this one here in July. I'm hoping I can squeeze it in. It's one that I've been wanting to read. The Terror by Dan Simmons is another one that's on my shelf. Just have not gotten to it. The Rape of Nanking is one that's on my shelf. Have not gotten to it. Hero Forge, and I really wanted to read more historical history books. But I just have not. I just have not gotten to it yet. So that's one of my goals that I've failed on pretty miserably, is reading more history. So fail. Hero Forged by Josh Erickson. I have not started that one yet either. Negative Space by B.R. Yeager. I just finished this one about a week or so ago. Fantastic book. Review will be coming soon. I'm really glad I read that one. The Shining. I've not started that one yet. Peloton Unbound. I've not started that one yet. Timberwolf. Not yet. By Dominic Adler. A Congregation of Jackals. Have not started that one yet. Richard K. Morgan, The Steel Remains. Have not started that one yet. The Safe by Daniel Barnett. I have not started that one yet either. The God King's Legacy by Richard Nell. I did finish that. We are having, we plan to have a discussion with Richard, with Mihir from Fantasy Book Critic, to chat all about that book. It's 2 prequel novellas to the new series that's coming. So I did enjoy that one. The Hungry Earth, have not started that one yet. Nicholas Kaufman. An Alliance of Enemies, have not started that one yet either. It's on my list. Kin by Keelan Patrick Burke, have not started that one yet. Cabin Terror, have not started that one yet. Immortelle, I've actually been holding off on Immortelle because I'm thinking about doing a novella November. So I'm thinking I might have a novella review every day in the month of November. And I'm actually saving this one to see if I can manage that. So it may be a novella that I read soon, in the next couple of months, and then have the review out in November. But I'm the type where I record it, I read a book, I record the video, I edit it, I post it, and I want to get it out there. So I know I can't do it now because I'll just want to get it out. So I want to save it for November. I think I may be doing that, but I'm not quite sure. Hall of Bones by Tim Hardy. Did read that one, enjoyed it. Norse fantasy, like an epic fantasy. So that was another one that was good. Shadows of Ivory. Have not read that one yet. Love the cover. Burn Red Skies. Have not started that one yet either. It's on my shelf. Legacy of the Brightwash is another one. I'm so many books. There's so many books that I want to read. It's just hard. It's hard to get through all of them. So the Court of Broken Knives, we are starting a group read for that and then discussing the whole trilogy in September. Check the forum for more information on that with Anna Smith Spark. That's gonna be awesome. PL Story to Drunk Kingdom. I'm listening to the audiobook. I have very little left. I'm almost done, but it is a slow burn. Slow burn. Lots of setup. Lots of setting the table. The characters, the history, the lore. Kind of setting up the whole world. Things do happen though, and when they happen, they really happen. there's some surprises that I've been like, wow. So, but to me, it almost, I've done that exclusively, audiobook, The Drunk Kingdom, and it reminds me of reading a history book and getting in the mind of like a conqueror or some kind of leader, how they view the world, how they view themselves and people around them. To me, that's what it reads like. It reads like you're in the mind of someone in history, because that's the way that they would view themselves in the world. And needless to say, the main character is not very likable, but I think that's the point. So Escaping First Contact. I'm hoping to get this one too. It's another one that's high on my list. I still want to read that series. And there's a couple that I added in after I recorded the last video. The Razor's Edge, which I hear a ton of stuff about, and Legacy of Ash by Matthew Ward. Also, I did add Obsidian Awakening by Sienna Frost. I did finish this one a couple of weeks ago, so you can cross that one off the list. It had a spoiler-filled discussion with Sienna Frost, or Faye, as some of you know her. And also The Winter Road. Great, great book. Loved it. I loved both Obsidian and The Winter Road. We had a discussion with Adrian Selby on The Winter Road as well. So that was great. So overall, let me see, I have a tally here. It's a little scary. So standalones, I have a possible of 32. I finished, drumroll, 7. Wah, wah, wah. And I haven't started, of course, 25. So, I mean, it's it's a lot of books. So the Court of Broken Knives I can move into the series category, but overall I think I'm doing okay. I thought I was doing a lot better than this, to be honest with you guys. I've pretty much stayed on track. I haven't gotten too sidetracked. I haven't like squirreled too many times, but it happens because things come up. I'm also starting The Expanse, and I don't see it in this list for some reason. So that's my progress for the year. So far, the standouts for me have been Obsidian. Well, really all the books I've read have been fantastic. I haven't really had anything that I didn't enjoy this year on that list. There was a few that just weren't a hit for me for whatever reason. There were some other books that weren't on this list, but I made that list late in December, looking at like Spiffbo Awards lists, looking at blogs for popular grimdark or dark fantasy series. I've been a little choosy about what I've been willing to read, and I think I know more now what I enjoy and what I don't. So I think that's really helping me with choosing what I read. And all these books I'm really excited about, and I keep saying I can't wait to read this. I sound like I have a book haul. John from Hey Y'all Listen Up. Yeah, that's for you. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's so many books to read, and I'm trying to get through them all. The books that even the books that I got sidetracked with, a lot of those have been great too. So, overall, I thought I was doing a lot better, but so we still have 6 months about. So we'll see how it goes. My favorites, Gunmetal Gods is a standout. Great book. Loved it. Negative Space is great. Obsidian is great. The Winter Road is great. There's so many great books. The whole Rift Cycle was great. And, Edge of the Breach was the standout for me. That was that series is just bonkers. It's a great series. That last book in the Rift Cycle got me a little teary-eyed. Gotta say, gotta be honest. So that's my year so far. Some of them are in progress. Malazan has taken up a lot of time. Malazan, those books have been really dense. They're slow reads, and I think I'm going to blame it on Malazan. It's Malazan's fault. That's why I haven't made as much progress. But we're taking our time with Malazan, and this is a no stress kind of thing. It's just for fun to keep track of what my goals are. But with my goal of reading lots of grimdark and getting to know the genre better, I definitely think I'm doing pretty good with that, because I have been focusing a lot on grimdark, dark fantasy, and just because that's what I like. I like that genre more than epic fantasy, those subgenres. So that's just me, and that's what I enjoy, and I think that's really helped with my year so far with what I've been reading. So tell me about your year. What are you most looking forward to? How have your stats been? Do you keep track? Do you care? Do you just read for fun like I do, and just let the chips fall where they may? I'm trying to focus more on quality over quantity. So really, I'm behind on a lot of my goals. I'm way behind on a lot of them. They're very ambitious, but I'm way behind on a lot of the goals. But I've loved everything that's on the list, so I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to say that I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I'm doing pretty good. All these books have been a hit. None of them I've been disappointed with on this list. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I think we'll call that a victory. So we'll put a notch in the W column, and we'll see what the second half of the year brings. But let me know how your year is going. If you keep track, if you do keep track, how are you going? How are you doing on your goals? What's been your favorite book so far in 2022? What's been your biggest surprise so far this year in 2022? I think my biggest surprise, I knew I would love the darkness that comes before, but I didn't know I'd love it this much. So that's been a surprise. That's up there too with one of my favorite books of the first half of the year. But as far as surprises go, I think that's been one of them. My biggest disappointments, probably the first Law standalones. I don't know. I'm just not clicking with them. They're just not clicking. But I'm most excited. There's so many books I'm excited to read. It's crazy. So that's my progress for the first half of 2022. Let me know how you're doing. Like I said, let me know down below your biggest surprise, your favorite book. If you want to list your biggest disappointment, you can. I try to not think of things that way. Some things just don't work for me. But let me know how you're doing down below. Let me know how your year is going. Are you having a good time? Let me know about your goals down below. So thank you for hanging out with me for a few minutes to talk about my goals and my very overambitious goals that I knew I set myself for failure with my goals, but I'm having a blast. I'm reading so many great books that I can't be discouraged about it, because I'm having such a great time. So that's what matters. So until next time, talk to you soon.